Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glide through life with grace and dignity, even as they age, while others struggle with feelings of vulnerability or discomfort? What is it that allows certain individuals to maintain their autonomy, protect their reputation, and live their later years with peace of mind? The answer might be simpler than you think. Privacy. In today's video, we're diving into the 9 secrets of life that you should never reveal as you age, particularly between the ages of 50 and 75. These aren't just any secrets. These are the key elements that, if kept private, can help you live a life of dignity, protect your well-being, and preserve your inner peace. You might be wondering why I should care about keeping certain things private. Well, revealing too much about your age, finances, family matters, health, and personal beliefs can lead to unnecessary judgment, stress, and even hurt. But when you keep these aspects of your life to yourself, you not only maintain control over your narrative but also safeguard the most important parts of who you are. By the end of this video, you'll understand the power of keeping these secrets and how doing so can empower you to live a fulfilling, stress-free life as you age. So stay with me until the end because I'll share why each of these secrets is vital, how they'll protect you from unsolicited opinions and emotional burdens, and how keeping them private will lead to a richer, more satisfying journey in your later years. Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Age. More than just a number. It's something we all encounter countless times, the inevitable question about age. For many, it's a simple icebreaker, a harmless way to begin a conversation. Yet, in a world that places immense value on youth and vitality, age can often feel like a weight we carry, something that seems to define us in ways we might not even realize. When we're young, it's just a number. But as the years begin to add up, the way others perceive us, and even the way we perceive ourselves, can shift, making age feel like more than just a statistic on a birth certificate. For me, age has always felt like a complex and deeply personal matter. As we grow older, revealing your true age can lead to assumptions that are sometimes painful to bear. Suddenly, people think they know what you're capable of. They assume your health, your energy, and even your future. In the face of this, it's tempting to keep that number hidden, as though keeping it a secret might somehow shield you from these judgments. Why does it matter, though? Why is age such a big deal? The reality is that ageism is alive and well in society, often rearing its ugly head in subtle ways. Despite laws against discrimination, the truth is that people still see age as a limitation, and the moment your age is known, you're often boxed into a category that strips you of your individuality. I think of how often older individuals are treated as if their worth has an expiration date, as if their best years are behind them, and that is perhaps the most painful assumption of all. I've witnessed it too many times. The unsolicited advice, the changes in tone, the hesitation when you're asked to participate in something physically demanding. It's as though once you hit a certain age, you're no longer considered capable, and that's devastating. Age isn't just a number, it's a reflection of experience, resilience, and the stories we've lived through. Why should that be reduced to a number that defines who we are or what we can do? But here's the thing I've learned over time. Life isn't about the years we accumulate. It's about the experiences we collect along the way, the relationships we build, and how we choose to live each day. The future is unpredictable, and we never truly know how many years we have left, but we can control how we spend the time we're given. I believe there's beauty in holding onto the power to shape our narrative without letting the judgments of others dictate who we should be. Our worth is not determined by age. It's shaped by our attitude, our health, our decisions, and the way we move through the world. Keeping our age to ourselves allows us to stay true to ourselves, to live without the constraints of others' expectations, and to define our existence in our unique way. As we age, It's crucial to remember that life is measured by the richness of the moments we live, not by the number of years we count. The beauty of life isn't in how many candles are on your birthday cake, but in how deeply you love, how freely you laugh, and how passionately you embrace each day. Let your experiences speak louder than the number on your birth certificate. Keep your age close to your heart, and let the world see you for the person you truly are, not just the years you've lived. 2. Financial privacy. Key to preservation. Financial privacy is something that, in my opinion, holds an incredibly powerful and understated value, especially as we age. Money is undeniably one of the most essential parts of our daily lives. It impacts where we live, what we can do, and how we navigate the world. But it is also one of the most uncomfortable and vulnerable topics to discuss, and this becomes even more apparent when we reach our 50s and beyond. By this time, many of us have either settled into a comfortable financial position or are still navigating the long and sometimes difficult journey toward financial security. Whether you've accumulated wealth or find yourself living more modestly, the importance of maintaining privacy over your financial affairs cannot be overstated. In my experience, financial privacy isn't just about protecting your assets, it's about safeguarding your peace of mind and your relationships. You see, money, for better or for worse, tends to stir up emotions, and when it is laid out in the open, it opens the door to all sorts of potential issues, particularly in close-knit relationships like those with friends and family. If you reveal your financial status, whether you're enjoying prosperity or struggling to make ends meet, it can set off a chain reaction that could be more damaging than you might expect. Let's first talk about what can happen when you share your wealth. It sounds almost too simple, but it's all too real. People can begin to see you as an endless resource. Whether it's family members, friends, or even acquaintances, the expectations can become overwhelming. They might start treating you differently, not as a person, but as a bank or an ATM. And let's be honest, it's draining. Suddenly, you may find yourself in the uncomfortable position of being asked to lend money, pay for things, or support someone else's dream, all because you were transparent about your financial situation. Worse yet, it can create an unspoken tension where others might begin to harbor feelings of jealousy or even resentment toward you. Those subtle shifts in dynamics can chip away at the essence of the relationships that matter most to you. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But then, on the flip side, there's a different kind of discomfort that comes when you're financially struggling. In these cases, revealing your situation can often lead to pity or judgment, and neither of those are feelings anyone wants to experience. There's a tendency for people to make assumptions about your choices, assuming you haven't planned well enough or that you've somehow failed at the game of life. It's an incredibly vulnerable space to be in, and in some cases, it may even create barriers between you and others. It's not just about the numbers in your bank account, but the emotional weight of others projecting their judgments and assumptions onto you. In a society where success is so often equated with financial prosperity, I've come to realize that true value lies not in how much we have, but in who we are and how we choose to live our lives. Keeping your financial matters private isn't about being secretive or deceptive. It's about protecting your dignity and sense of autonomy. The truth is, your financial status should never define you. It's your actions, your values, and how you show up for others that paint a true picture of who you are. I believe that, whether you're wealthy or living modestly, you should protect the sanctity of your financial privacy as a way to preserve your emotional well-being and your relationships. Ultimately, I think the best way to live is to let your financial situation be your business. Nothing more, nothing less. This practice shields you from unnecessary judgments, keeps envy and exploitation at bay, and helps maintain your sense of peace. Money may be a tool we use to navigate the world, but it should never be the measuring stick by which we define ourselves or allow others to define us. It's time we stopped letting finances dictate our worth. 3. Family secrets. The sanctuary of home. Every family, no matter how close-knit, carries its own unique set of challenges and complexities. The relationships within a family, the bonds between parents and children, spouses, siblings, and even extended family members, are often far from perfect. At times, they can be tangled with tension, disagreements, and misunderstandings. Yet, within those very same relationships, there lies the deepest foundation of love, unconditional support, and a connection that often transcends words. As we grow older, we come to realize just how vital family becomes, especially when we find ourselves leaning on them for care, companionship, and emotional support in our most vulnerable moments. There's a quiet, almost unspoken power in knowing that family is there to catch you when you fall, to be your safe harbor when the world seems too heavy. But despite the beauty and depth of familial love, not everything within a family is meant to be shared with the world. There are certain issues, deep-seated grudges, unresolved conflicts, or even minor disagreements, that are better kept within the walls of the home. The reason is simple. Family secrets, if exposed to outsiders, can cause irreparable damage. When personal matters are laid bare for the world to judge, the precious trust between family members is shattered. Worse yet, it invites outsiders to form opinions, often without understanding the full context or the emotional weight behind the situation. These judgments, fueled by gossip and bias, can distort the true essence of what a family is and what it means to each of its members. I believe that protecting the privacy of your family is one of the most profound acts of loyalty and respect you can show. It's not just about keeping things hidden. It's about safeguarding the emotional integrity of those you love. By keeping personal family matters private, you ensure that your loved ones are not unfairly judged or misunderstood. You give them the space they need to work through their struggles in peace, free from the suffocating weight of public opinion. Family should be a sanctuary, a place where healing can take place without the added pressure of external eyes watching, waiting for the next mistake. When you keep your family's secrets safe within the home, you create an environment where reconciliation and growth are possible. A sacred space where, despite flaws and imperfections, love can still flourish and thrive. 4. Medications. Health is personal. As we enter our 50s and 60s, health inevitably becomes an even more prominent focus in our lives. It's not just a passing thought anymore, it becomes a way of life. We may find ourselves managing chronic conditions, taking multiple medications, or undergoing various treatments just to maintain the delicate balance of well-being that we've spent our lives building. This shift in focus is a natural part of aging, and it often brings health discussions to the forefront, especially in a world where healthcare is such a major topic of conversation. We talk about it with friends, family, and even acquaintances, and in many ways, this openness can feel comforting. But there's a delicate line between discussing general health concerns and revealing every intimate detail about the medications we take and the treatments we're enduring. It's crucial to understand why we should be selective about sharing our health details. There's a certain vulnerability that comes with exposing our personal health journeys, and sometimes doing so can lead to unsolicited advice or, worse, judgment. People, no matter how well-meaning, may offer suggestions, often alternatives or miracle cures, that, while coming from a place of care, are not always rooted in science or reality. These suggestions can feel overwhelming, intrusive, and, at times, even harmful. While we may appreciate the concern behind them, there's no escaping the frustration that can arise when we are inundated with well-meaning but misguided opinions. But it's more than just about avoiding these moments of unwanted advice. Sharing too much about your health can also unintentionally reduce your identity to your medical conditions. Suddenly, you might feel like you're viewed not as a person with a rich history, hopes, and experience, but solely as a patient. A label that is far too narrow and limiting. The risk of being defined by your illnesses is real, and it can be emotionally draining. It can be disheartening to feel like your essence, your worth, is solely tied to what's happening inside your body. By keeping your health details private, you are taking control of how you present yourself to the world. You get to decide who knows what and how much they know, and that is incredibly empowering. It allows you to safeguard your dignity, protect your peace, and ensure that you're seen as the person you truly are, not just as someone defined by their health challenges. In my personal experience, maintaining some level of privacy about my health has been one of the most empowering decisions I've made. It's not about hiding or being secretive, but about honoring the delicate balance between openness and self-respect. The dignity of being seen as a whole person, beyond the medications and treatments, is something I treasure deeply. It's so important to live your life without the constant weight of your health conditions defining how others see you. After all, health is personal, and we should have the right to choose how and when we share it. 5. Sexuality. Intimacy is sacred. Sexuality is not just a physical act. It is a deeply human, emotional, and spiritual connection that transcends age. The notion that intimacy fades as we grow older is one of society's most misguided misconceptions. In reality, for many people, the beauty and significance of intimacy deepen over time. As we grow older, we often become more in tune with our bodies and emotions, understanding ourselves and our desires in ways that might have been impossible when we were younger. Intimacy, at any age, holds the power to bind us, to affirm love, and create profound connections between partners. Yet, despite the profound and irreplaceable role that intimacy plays in our lives, society often dismisses or even stigmatizes the sexual lives of older adults. This is where the struggle begins. For many, navigating the delicate subject of sexuality in later years can feel like walking through a minefield. There are societal taboos that cast shadows over what should be celebrated, and conversations about sexual desires are too often avoided or shamed. The reality is that sexual desire is as natural in our later years as it is in youth. There is no expiration date on intimacy, and there should be no shame in nurturing our emotional and physical connections as we age. For some, as relationships mature, intimacy takes on new layers of depth and meaning. It is no longer just about the physical. It becomes a sacred exchange, one that transcends mere desire. However, sharing personal details about your romantic life or sexual experiences can open the door to judgment and misunderstanding. When we speak openly about our desires, there is always a risk that others may misinterpret our choices, make assumptions, or react in ways that strip away the sacredness of what we hold dear. This is why, in my heart, I believe that privacy and intimacy is not about hiding shame. It's about protecting something so precious that it cannot be easily understood by anyone but the individuals involved. The moments shared between you and your partner should be shielded from the prying eyes of others, not because there's anything wrong with them, but because they are sacred, intimate, and personal. To reveal too much is to diminish the sacredness of the bond you share. As we age, our needs, desires, and perspectives on intimacy may evolve, but one thing remains unchanged: the importance of mutual respect, kindness, and discretion. The way we protect our intimate lives speaks volumes about the respect we have for ourselves, our partners, and the relationships we've nurtured over time. Protecting the privacy of our sexual lives and guarding the sanctity of these moments is an act of reverence. It is a way of ensuring that our personal experiences remain our own and our connection remains untainted by the expectations or judgments of the world around us. This respect, this sacredness, is not just about physical privacy. It's about safeguarding something deeper, something that words often fail to capture. Intimacy, in all its forms, is sacred, and as we age, we owe it to ourselves to keep that truth alive, unbroken, and deeply respected. 6. Charity. The quiet power of giving. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Charitable giving is truly one of the most profound, soul-enriching acts of kindness we can ever offer to the world. Whether it's donating money to a cause that touches your heart, volunteering precious time to support a community, or simply extending a helping hand to a loved one in need, these selfless acts can leave an undeniable, lasting imprint on both our hearts and the lives of those we touch. To give is to connect with the core of humanity, to acknowledge that we are not just individuals living in isolation but part of a greater whole. The simple act of giving opens our hearts and our minds, allowing us to become better versions of ourselves. Yet, in this noble pursuit, there's an essential distinction we must understand: giving for the sake of others versus giving to seek recognition. Why is it so important to keep your charitable acts private, you might ask. Well, there is something truly sacred about the idea of giving quietly, without any expectation of praise or external validation. Publicly broadcasting your charitable contributions, even if done with good intentions, can inadvertently give the impression that your generosity is about you, about what you will get from it. There's an undeniable human desire for acknowledgement, but I believe that the most meaningful acts of charity are the ones that come without any strings attached. When we announce our generosity to the world, we risk turning the act of giving into something that reflects our ego, our need for approval, rather than the purity of our intentions. It's as though the gift becomes less about the recipient and more about us, an irony that undermines the very essence of charity. Moreover, revealing the details of your donations or acts of kindness can place an uncomfortable burden on others. Imagine the pressure of feeling like you should give just because someone else did, even if you're struggling to make ends meet yourself. By sharing your acts of charity publicly, you can inadvertently make others feel inadequate or compelled to give in ways that aren't sustainable for them. It takes away the opportunity for people to give freely, in their own time, and on their terms. This isn't just about the money or the gesture itself. It's about the emotional and psychological space that charity creates for others to engage in their acts of kindness at their own pace. There's a certain grace and dignity in giving without fanfare. When you choose to give in secret, your act becomes an expression of pure love, care, and empathy. It transforms into something much more powerful than a mere transaction. It becomes a connection, a quiet moment of humanity that transcends the need for recognition. You're not concerned with how others see you. You're focused on the life you're touching, the difference you're making, and the joy that arises from knowing that you've helped. The beauty of giving quietly is that the impact you make is magnified, not by how loudly it's announced, but by how deeply it resonates with those who receive it. And perhaps the most beautiful part is that you don't need anyone else's approval to know that it matters. By keeping your charitable acts private, you also protect the dignity of those you are helping. We often forget that not everyone wants to be labeled as a recipient of charity. Many people take pride in their independence and would rather not be publicly recognized for their struggles. By giving without putting the spotlight on them, you provide a gift that respects their autonomy. You allow them to receive with grace, without the shame or discomfort that can sometimes come with being the subject of public charity. This quiet, respectful approach allows the giver and the recipient to maintain their dignity and humanity, an unspoken bond that speaks volumes. At the end of the day, charity is not about the applause we receive or the attention we garner. It's about making a difference in the lives of others and finding a deeper connection to our shared humanity. It's about giving not for the sake of being seen, but for the sake of truly helping. The quiet power of giving is something that touches the soul, creates lasting change, and uplifts not just the recipient but ourselves as well. And that, I believe, is the true beauty of charity. 7. Honor. Protecting your reputation. Honor and dignity hold an extraordinary weight as we age, especially when we enter our 50s and 60s. At this stage in life, we've usually crossed many milestones. Perhaps we've raised children with love and devotion, worked tirelessly to build a career that stands as a testament to our dedication, or made a meaningful impact in our communities. These accomplishments are not small feats. They represent years of effort, sacrifice, and perseverance. Yet, as we reflect on all we've achieved, we must ask ourselves, how do we hold on to that honor we've fought so hard to build? In a world that increasingly values external validation and the glorification of success, it's so easy to fall into the trap of constantly seeking recognition for our achievements. The problem with this? It can unintentionally undermine the very respect we've earned. It's painful but true when we boast or overly focus on talking about our successes. We often end up doing the opposite of what we intend. We risk alienating others, making them feel inferior, or even envious of what we've achieved. And while it's only natural to feel proud of what we've accomplished, there's a fragile balance between sharing our pride and letting it overshadow the subtle beauty of humility. In American culture, we are constantly bombarded with messages that encourage self-promotion and validation from others. But I believe honor, in its purest form, has little to do with external praise. Honor isn't about how many people know of your achievements or how loudly you can shout them to the world. It's about what you've done when no one's watching, how you've impacted lives through kindness, integrity, and the quiet strength of your character. True honor is deeply personal. It's earned through your actions, not your words. When we choose to keep certain parts of our lives private, whether it's the achievements we're proud of, the good we've done in the world, or the quiet successes we've experienced, we are doing more than just protecting our dignity. We are safeguarding the respect we deserve. By letting our actions speak louder than our words, we allow others to see us for who we truly are, not just the accomplishments we've gathered. The respect we receive then becomes genuine, rooted in admiration for the person we've become, not simply the accolades we've accumulated. It takes strength, maturity, and wisdom to embrace this quiet form of honor. And while it can sometimes feel uncomfortable to step back and allow our deeds to be the only testament to our worth, it's one of the most powerful ways to preserve our dignity. As we grow older, this becomes more important than ever, because when we've worked so hard to build something meaningful, the last thing we want is for that honor to fade under the weight of unnecessary boasting. 8. Insults. Letting go of past hurts. Life, as we all know, is filled with moments of pain, disappointment, and sometimes downright humiliation. No one escapes these experiences, and many of us carry the weight of insults and hurtful words long after they've been spoken. It's as if these moments leave an indelible mark on our souls, leaving deep emotional scars that don't easily fade. Those words and actions can echo in our hearts, haunting us at unexpected times, and the pain can linger for years. But holding on to those wounds only deepens the hurt. Rehashing past insults, revisiting them in our minds, and sharing them with others may offer a temporary sense of release, but it also keeps us trapped in a cycle of bitterness and resentment. As we grow older, it becomes even more vital to release these heavy burdens. We simply don't have the time or energy to waste on the anger and hurt of the past. Every moment spent dwelling on what others have done to us is a moment we lose from our lives, a moment we could have spent nurturing peace, love, and joy within ourselves. Holding on to old grievances only weighs us down, suffocating our ability to move forward and find true inner peace. It's like carrying a backpack full of stones. You may be able to keep walking for a while, but eventually, the weight becomes unbearable. Letting go of past hurts doesn't mean we forget what happened. It's not about pretending the pain didn't exist. What it truly means is choosing not to allow those moments to shape our present or future. It's about saying, I refuse to let this define me anymore. By keeping those painful experiences to ourselves, we create the space to heal and gain control over our narrative. We take back our power. The less we revisit past insults, the less hold they have on us. Our minds and hearts can start to heal, and slowly, we can find the peace we so desperately crave. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As hard as it is to let go, it's perhaps one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. Freedom. Freedom from the chains of resentment. Freedom to move forward with grace, unburdened by the weight of the past. By choosing to protect our emotional and mental well-being, we open ourselves to a brighter future where growth, understanding, and love can flourish. 9. Mantra. The strength of personal belief. A mantra is so much more than just a phrase or a set of words. It's a deeply personal belief that can become the backbone of your emotional strength. It's not just something you recite or chant in moments of need, but rather a guiding light that helps you stay grounded, no matter how turbulent life may become. Whether it's a prayer that connects you to something greater than yourself, a daily affirmation that reinforces your worth, or a personal motto that fuels your drive, your mantra has the potential to transform your very existence. It becomes the essence of your inner resilience, a constant reminder that you have the power to overcome whatever obstacles life throws your way. There is an undeniable temptation to share your mantra with others, especially when it's been a source of profound strength and has helped you face life's most difficult challenges. You want to pass on that light, share your secret to peace, and perhaps offer the same healing to someone else. However, it's vital to remember that not everyone will understand your journey, nor will they necessarily appreciate the significance your mantra holds. There's a quiet power in keeping your beliefs to yourself. By sharing them too freely, you risk allowing the external world to alter or dilute their true meaning for you. Your mantra is yours, and therein lies its immense power. It is an intimate part of your soul, shaped by your experiences, struggles, and triumphs. It offers you comfort when you feel lost, clarity when your world seems clouded, and courage when you're afraid to take the next step. The strength of these personal beliefs comes from the solace they provide and how they allow you to find peace within yourself during the most trying times. Your mantra acts as a sanctuary, a place of solace that no one else can touch, something that remains yours alone. Holding on to it fiercely preserves its sacred power and ensures that it continues to guide and protect you through every storm. As we wrap up today's video, I want to thank you for taking the time to reflect on the power of personal mantras and the strength that our beliefs can give us. We've talked about how these mantras are more than just words. They are the lifeline that can guide us through life's toughest moments. So, what have you learned so far? I'd love to hear about one thing that resonated with you and how you plan to bring that into your life. Maybe you've realized the importance of protecting your personal beliefs, or maybe you've been inspired to create your mantra to help you find clarity and strength. Whatever it is, leave a comment below and share your thoughts with me. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you'll stay connected and be part of this amazing community, where we continue to explore ways to make life richer and more meaningful. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to hear your reflections.